Members of the board. From Boardroom Productions, it's Boardroom Banter.
Get the speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound.
Featuring your chairman of the board, David.
What is happening, everybody?
Chief Mayhem Officer, Derek.
Yo, 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 what is up?
And myself, Greg, your Chief of Obscurity. The following content is explicit. Discretion is advised.
Welcome, everybody, to Boardroom Banter. My name is David. To my left is Derek.
What is up?
And to my right is Mr. Greg.
That's me.
Want to start your Friday off, as always. Hope you had a great week. I know we did. Topics, though, we'll see what happens tonight. I don't know quite yet. We're getting there still. We've been discussing it, and I think we're just going to let it flow.
Like AC/DC, we shoot from the hip.
There you go.
Yeah.
Derek, how was your week, my man?
My week was good. It's been busy.
Anything fun, interesting?
I mean, I just watched Greg knock over the caulk in front of him.
Yeah, Greg, you did. You knocked over caulk.
Well,
You were
yeah.
double handing it there for a minute.
Diddy would be very disappointed in you right now for knocking over the caulk.
Now, see, that's the problem, Derek, is that caulk was too big to handle with one hand, and I should have put both hands on it.
It almost hit you in the face.
I know, it was almost a tragedy. Now it's menacingly pointing to the right on the table in front of me.
You didn't get hired on the casting couch, I take it.
No, not even the white one.
Ooh.
Fuck. You always know the casting couch when you see it, too.
Yeah, there's two levels. There's white casting couch and black casting couch.
There's amateur and there's pro.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
black one is the pro level.
Yeah, because it's still black.
Yeah.
It hasn't turned white.
Right.
What about
That's how you know it's the pro couch.
Yeah.
What about the bang bus? That's almost even better than the casting couch.
You know, that's dating
Fake
us, dude.
taxi.
Yeah. Something like that.
Have you seen the one where it's like a fucking like a moving truck, but like you can see out of it, but no one can see in? That one would be a fucking trip.
It's like a party bus.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That would be
But there's
quite
just
interesting.
a party of one person. and
There's
another.
just you, your two hands on your caulk,
They're like,
and her.
Deciding which direction it's going to menacingly lean.
you know,
Or implode.
just depends on what platform you're on.
I guess.
Yes.
What kind of Google searching you do,
Oh man,
or in private browsing you do.
it's not private.
No, nothing is private.
I don't even care about private browsing. Like, you're going to see what I fucking browse anyway. Why does it matter if it's
Well,
private
they're
or not
logging
private?
you. It's just you can keep it private from people in your household, but
Yeah.
the man's still tracking
kids.
every little keystroke you're doing. Like, oh God, he watches midgets and dragons, like
You know what a fun thing to do is?
Snow White reenactment.
I mean, I watch Midgets and Dragons and Game of Thrones.
A fun thing to do. A fun thing to do is to just point at 5 or 6 random words in a dictionary
yeah.
and add them together in the tone of a porn search.
And I guarantee you would find something.
Yeah. Well, what's great about that is imagining the look on that CIA guy or FBI guy's face as he's reading through your browser history, trying to decide if it's even possible for that to happen.
Well, given furries are a thing nowadays, and I'm sure nothing goes by them anymore.
Well, you know, it's getting hard to be creative and have new content for anything anymore.
I mean, look at movies. Everything's a reboot now.
Yeah.
Man, that's the thing, too. How many times have you gone to log on to Wi-Fi as a kid, right? And it scared the shit out of you because she was like, FBI van. And the first time I saw that, I was doing some shady shit. I was like, oh, fuck, they're on to me.
It's
Like
hilarious,
me,
too.
at like 12 years old, they're fucking watching me. They're outside my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just Johnny Three Houses Down.
Yeah, fucking
Fucking
asshole.
with you. What a guy.
So David has joined the Douche Flute Club now.
Temporarily.
I don't know if there's any temporarily about it, bud.
No, it's temporary.
Now you're in the zone and you got the Douche Flute.
Well, you know. Wife came home with a delicious flavor.
What flavor is it?
Watermelon. Yeah. Watermelon, everybody.
David's kind of a watermelon guy.
Go ahead. Give me drag in the comments. I don't give a shit.
Watermelon Jolly Ranchers.
It's
are some
pretty
of the best.
tasty.
Okay, so more drag in the comments. I do have to shout this one out just real quick. It wasn't in the comments. It was something that somebody told me, though, which politically was correct, and I stand by it in a way because I'm a huge Notorious B.I.G. fan.
Okay.
And I didn't catch it the other week. But More Money, More Problems was on a Notorious B.I.G. soundtrack, which featured P. Diddy.
That's why it was good.
That's why it was good.
I'll take it.
P. Diddy didn't have too much to do with it.
Hey, I'm just saying. It has him on it. But
It does. I'll give you that. So I do.
saying, add him on it.
I have to admit,
And
too,
he
I
starts
do
it
like
off.
one song with P. Diddy on it.
Biggie is until the third verse anyways. So how are you supposed to know? Because Diddy starts it out, and then it's Mace.
I mean, I don't know.
And then Biggie.
I mean,
Just
I don't know.
saying.
He just wanted me to say that.
Hey, all respect.
It's
all
semantics,
respect.
isn't
Yeah.
it?
It is.
It's all we're arguing there is semantics. It's all good, though. Respect.
Your brother went off on some comments, though.
Yeah, he definitely made sure to let us know.
He let us know.
It was Snoop Dogg that ultimately ended up buying Death Row Records. Thanks
Yep.
for the correction
Yep.
there. Sped Kid Biggie, a.k.a. Greg's little brother,
Fuck yeah.
Throw him a comment.
Hell yeah.
a.k.a. Bigamus Minimus.
Bigamus Minimus, shout out
Shout
to you.
out to you for your facts of randomness.
Thank you. That's what we're looking for. Interact,
So good.
subscribe, like, comment.
And
We
follow.
need you.
If you're on Rumble, give us a follow. If you're on YouTube, give us a subscribe. Give a like. Comment. Interaction is what we crave.
Let
Here's
us know
one-
what you think, good or bad.
If you don't like what we're talking about, give us something to fucking talk about.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Be proactive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if we don't have comments or like we don't have things
If
you
you're-
like to hear, what do you want to hear?
Here's the thing. If you're listening, you're part of the boardroom. You're a board member.
You're a board member.
and with board membership comes board responsibility.
Yes.
There-
Very board responsibility.
You do have to do your part.
Go ahead, just pop in there anytime. You can find us at boardroombanter@gmail.com. That's BORDROOMBANTER@gmail.com. Go ahead and send us your ideas. Let us know what you like and what you don't like.
Constructive criticism. We'll take it, or
Yeah.
we may not.
We may
What-
not. We
either
may
or.
say fuck you.
Hey, so real quick, speaking of Diddy, right? So I know we were talking about him last week.
There's a lot to talk about still.
I found out about, did you read the article about his new cellmate?
No, I read the article about pink cocaine and how to find out what that shit was.
Well, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But his new celly. So do you remember Sam Bankman-Fried, the crypto dude
Yeah.
that took like everybody down, like Tom Brady got into hot water
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff? They're cellies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the best part is their whole shtick doing all that stuff is they would get all hopped up on fucking speed and whatnots and have orgies. And now he's celled up with Diddy.
Like, there's going to be a lot of orgies in that cell block.
Match made in heaven.
Cell block 16. Come see me there, please.
We'll call it the Diddle and Dugout.
Oh,
Diddy's Diggle and Dudda.
Ashton Kutcher might show up in a white suit.
You know, that is very possible. That could happen.
There was a lot of those photos around.
I heard it was a rumor article. I don't know how true it is because it was only one article that Mila Kunis has separated herself from the situation by getting out of the house because of how much Ashton and Diddy actually hung out with one another.
The only thing I'm going to say is
there's
gonna,
that.
it's going to be a straight snitch situation. Diddy
I
is
hope.
going to take a lot of people down, which he should. I mean, a lot of people should be taken down in this situation, but at the same time,
One can hope, or he's going to Epstein himself. One of the two.
or someone's going to
Just
Epstein
saying.
him.
And no, they're
And
gonna,
then they'll
well,
play-
and they're going to put it on Bankman-Fried because they're going to be like, Bankman's going to be like, he tried to hurt my
nearest-
virgin butt, and so I had to defend myself. That meek little motherfucker.
One of the I read an article this morning too, and now it sounds like his attorneys are trying to say that P. Diddy has been in an induced state for the last 15 years because of the amount of drugs that he's been doing.
Yeah, that's a pretty good made-up defense, too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when I was a drug addict, I still knew what I was doing.
Yeah. Maybe that pink cocaine does some things, man.
You know,
They found bags of pink cocaine.
I'm not saying that.
It's like the new fucking alligator.
I'm not saying
Really?
that there's
Crocodile,
not some,
whatever it is.
crocodile. Yeah.
It's synthetic coke. I don't know if it'll do the same things.
I did synthetic pot one time, and I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, spice is the worst, or whatever it's called. I'm just using that as
Yeah,
a
no,
random-
that's what it was. It was spice.
general
And
term.
like legitimately, I I was laying on a couch and I was like giving my last fucking rites to myself because I legit thought I was gonna die that night. It was
Well, it's like
pretty
bath
awful
salts
stuff.
and shit too. Like
Yeah.
it's all that synthetic garbage. Like
no, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. Well,
If there's anyone under the age of 21 and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this because I can get my hands," don't fucking do it.
you can't
It's
trust
terrible.
your local
Don't-
drug
don't.
dealer anymore. Even
Don't
I
do
mean,
it.
I hate to say that, but
Just don't.
when we were growing up, you
Get
know,
older,
like
get some money,
you
and
can trust
get some
people.
friends that you can trust.
you still can't trust it these days. Though.
Well, that's true too.
You can't.
Most states are legal, so just
I mean, test that shit. Go buy a fucking test kit off Google. If you really want to experiment and that's the road you want to go down and the life you want to choose, like go get a test kit. Make sure it doesn't have fentanyl in it. Make sure it's not going to fucking kill you. Like I'm not an activist for drugs and I'm not saying it's right to go do them in any ways, but I am saying if you're going to go experiment, like be safe about it.
yeah, because it ain't like it used to be. That's for sure. At
Well,
all anymore.
yeah, the drugs are different, and this one's so nasty and so potent and powerful, and yeah, it's just
Well, and we see what it's doing
yeah.
already. I mean,
Bro, this
That's-
whole
that's-
Star Island might go down that P. Diddy lives on.
what? Star Island.
I don't. It's not called Star Island. I'm getting it wrong.
that like-
I don't know the technical name.
Is that like Epstein's Island?
So it's a
But-
specific island, I guess. Someone was talking about it today at work, and I guess like they all live on this piece of like it's like an island. Like J Lo and Jeter live, or whatever. A-Rod, whoever the fuck she's married to now, lives a couple houses down. Like Rick Ross lives on this island.
Allegedly,
allegedly.
we're all allegedly
A
right now.
few other people live on this island allegedly. So I don't know how.
Till the full facts come out, because right now all we're running on is
We know you're fucked, Diddy. We just don't know
You're
how
saying,
fucked.
yeah.
we just don't know
You're
how
indicted,
fucked.
but we don't know how fucked.
we understand that there's about like 10 inches about to go in your rectum here.
Yep,
Morally speaking.
Oh, it's already happened, maybe.
and I'm sure he enjoyed it.
It's just a matter of what they're gonna name it.
P. Diddy's slapping that dude all up and down the cell right now.
Yeah, Huck to it all over that shit.
You never know, man. The other guy, maybe he's a secret animal. Maybe he's like, like a sleeper car.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting though that him and SBF are sharing a cell together.
You know, I find
That's
that
all I
hard.
can say
You know
about
what
that.
though?
That's-
I find that very hard to believe, and I find that is what's going on right now in publicity, because for I've been in the system, and for as high profile case that this is, both those dudes would be PC'd up right now and be in protective custody
well, especially
and on suicide watch. If Diddy's on suicide watch, you're not going to be sharing a cell with another man. I'm sorry, you're not.
No.
Like
No.
1,000%, you're not going to be sharing a cell with somebody if you're on suicide watch.
Well, not only that, but they have to put at least Diddy in PC. I mean, Bankman he's fish all day.
So that might be all
He's
speculation. I don't know.
But
Are you sure he's not in PC?
I would, given his crime, probably instead of putting him in a general population, I would assume with his, just given his crime, that they would have him more in a protective custody situation, and then just Diddy being Diddy, of course they're going to have him. But if some of the allegations that are against him are true about, child shit and whatnots, well, of course they're going to put him in protective custody, just because if he goes,
He would be a big time.
dude, if he goes into
Big
Gen
time.
Pop, he's done. Like
Yeah.
stabby, you're done, and we're not.
Well,
gonna
that's
get
why
the
he took
truth.
away his passports and everything else, is because of the huge flight risk that he is and how much money he has and how much connections he has. And like, he's not getting out. Like,
Well, and who knows if he has money offshores when you have that kind of money.
Oh, he's
you know
got
he does.
money. You know he does. That dude's got more money than fucking God. Yeah, I wouldn't say God, but as far as the industry that he's in, he's definitely one of the richest.
all right. So we talked about this last week, and we did have an answer for one of our subscribers last week on our Gmail account. We asked about the lube, right, Greg?
So the question was, if the FBI found 1,000 bottles of lube in P. Diddy's place, if you could tell me what the cumulative amount of lube in that amount of time was, you were going to win a prize. We did get a response. The only person to response, I'm going to keep that who it was to myself for now until I get permission to mention them on air, but it is coming your way, and I just want to let you know their response was definitely worthy of a prize. I sent a picture of a bottle of lube, okay, which is great. It's great to see, hey, let me just go grab this out of my drawer and take a picture, or whatever the case was. Maybe he screenshotted it from Google. Who knows?
And
Either way,
it's like a quarter full. So
Well,
you've been putting some use to that. So
It's in use.
I mean,
good on you.
Yeah,
Good
so-
on you for that.
says if it was 1,000 of these, that would be 148,000 milliliters. But then he went the extra mile. He didn't leave it at that.
No, he
guys.
did not.
No.
He sent that, and he probably said to himself, "You know what? That's not descriptive enough. I don't think that's what they were looking for."
I want to make sure they know exactly every drop how much lube is in there.
Yes.
So going forward and doing the math on it, he is determined that is almost a 55-gallon drum of motion lotion, guys. 39 gallons and some change. Followed by the quoted text, that's lots of lube.
You will experience zero chafing.
Yeah.
I bet he had swimming pools in his house full of lube.
You
I
know-
bet that wasn't even fucking water. Can you imagine? That's just at one residence.
Yeah.
I imagine hearing all the speculation about things that happened over there and people sharing their quote unquote experiences, that a good old slip and slide across the hall and into a vat of lube was required for the physical shenanigans going on at P. Diddy's Poon Palace.
Well, I even heard now that he had different levels. There were different tiers of his parties, apparently.
Oh.
He had hey, you guys are invited. You can come party. And then apparently, then there was, hey, you guys aren't invited to this party. You guys can come to this party. Like, there were different tiers, apparently, of what Diddy party you can come to.
And let me what I really want to know, and I'm sure you can agree with me, is what was the determining factor for each tier? And
Yeah.
was the tier
'Cause
with anal
Ashton
a
Kutcher
punishment
was in all
or
of
a
them.
reward?
But here's the thing. You got to realize there were names. I mean, there's already some names that are already starting to come out of people going to Diddy parties.
Ashton Kutcher's in so much pictures.
I feel like
But okay, so there's that. Apparently, LeBron James's name is starting to get drug into this a little bit. Okay,
hey, you leave that man alone.
but I'm just saying, what tier?
He ain't no Jordan.
What tier of party? He could have been in like the entry level. Like Diddy wouldn't let him go any
He
further.
got more
was
than
like,
entry
"Nah,
level
nah,
money.
Diddy wouldn't do him. Diddy wouldn't diddle him.
He wasn't a diddly diddler.
He didn't want to try and diddle the James. Just
well,
saying. But
That's a lot to take on.
That's the word, is that there were different tiers to it.
There
But
wasn't enough
regardless,
lube in the house.
It's sifting through all that BS, because if that's true, that there was different levels, and then you have all these names that are also associated, then you have to sift through, okay, who did he let in and let out of where the shit was really going down versus, hey, I'm P. Diddy, motherfucker, come have a party, blah blah blah.
So-
Do that kind of thing.
I read one more news article that they actually pulled a clip from the 90s, I want to say.
Oh, there's a lot of clips. from
Don't
the
quote
90s.
me. Quote me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. But he actually was in a live interview saying how he would get arrested for his parties in the future.
Yeah. I also saw a video on TRL of Dr. Dre saying that his house got broken into and someone stole a VHS tape. And Snoop was sitting next to him, and Snoop was like, "That tape?" Dre was like, "Yeah, that tape." And Snoop put his head down, oh no. But this is TRL days, so who knows if that is even really became a thing or not. But
Right.
All right, so we talked about Diddy last week. Maybe change directions.
But boy, oh boy, that's some juicy news.
Real quick,
Just want to let everybody know that this episode is brought to you by Boardroom Banter Ale. Ooh, that sounded great. You'll never find it anywhere.
Find it nowhere.
Unfortunately, you'll never understand the refreshing goodness of a frosty boardroom banter ale
It's cheap fun.
It is.
for everyone, 21 and older.
You'll never find it.
You will never find it. 21 and older in the United States.
Yeah, I mean,
Some places,
it's not up to us to decide how
They're-
old you have to be to drink it.
they're fucking
Thailand.
degenerates and let kids drink younger than 21.
Fuck, if they can die for their country at younger
In
than
Mexico, if you
21.
could see over the counter, you could just say it's for your dad.
Hey,
I would have been fucking passed out in the back of the fucking parking lot of the little convenience store, like, oh, it's for my dad.
I should have tested
that wasn't even a good accent, but that was for my dad, and just go in the back and just pass out.
Yeah, I know. I heard your dad actually listened to our podcast. After you called him a sneeze.
I said he called me. He told me
what? A what? A sneef?
A snork. I didn't call him a snork. I said he told me what a snork was.
Oh, okay.
Snork like the cartoon, the Snorks?
I thought you were saying that your dad went around sniffing warm.
No, he used to
bicycle
call me a
seats.
snork.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
And he used to
I wouldn't believe
say
it if it
snorking
were you.
around, but
Oh, I could see you doing that, Derek.
I used to ride bicycles in spandex pants.
Guy, I feel so sorry for your balls.
I know.
Oh man, but there was like a lot of padding. Like they had butt pads, which were more ball pads for me. But
It was good back then. You know, seats were a little different than they are in the present.
They acted as inflating safety devices in
Yes.
case he ever fell over.
So, if anyone's wondering what we're talking about, South Park. So, Matt Stone and Trey Parker got inspiration for Randy Marsh and the Hippity Hop on his balls from Derek.
Just gonna get a little bit of cancer, Stan. Tell Mom it's okay.
Derek actually did a whole demonstration about how when he focused hard enough to run the blood down to his sac and increase his, total terminal mass of his testicle situation down there, he could actually use it as green energy transportation.
It's quite surprising, actually.
I got varicose veins in my ball sack.
Well, I'm sure in calluses by now.
Yeah,
No,
You ever just take like a tackweed in there hopping down the road?
bro, I tell you, it makes me look really stuffed from the front. Like when I was a kid, you used to put a sock in there. Girls used to stuff or things like that. Like I would just take the nuts and like flip them forward, and it'd be like, oh, look at that guy. But it's all nuts.
I just thought you had like a lower hanging fupa.
That's kind of what I thought too.
But no, it's a mammal toe.
But if anyone wants to know what we're referencing, it's Derek has Hippity Hop for balls. It's sad.
My dad told me
It's a condition.
a few years ago, which dad, shout me out on this. Leave a comment. You already told me you're going to subscribe. So if you're listening, come on, don't let me down.
Yeah, Dad.
But you
He's gonna
told
let
me
you down.
that when I was, we were having this conversation. You were in your 50s. I was in my 20s. And you were like, hey, one good thing, son.
what
They
dads are
won't
good
go
for.
any further down. He was like, the way they are at your 20s are going to be the same way they are at your 50s because I'm looking at them right now.
They stop right past
And then it
the
was,
knees,
and then it
son.
was a whole conversation. Like all my uncles started opening up about this. Like I thought I was the only weird one with saggy balls, and then like it was a whole like, no, it's like a family trait, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Can you tie him in a knot or tie him in a bun?
I could do a lot more things than you'd like to know.
I use them as flotation devices when I go swimming.
I mean, they help me. They sink more than anything because it's just like an empty sack and the two nuts at the bottom. It's like a fucking.
I got fucking stones.
It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm not a fisherman or anything, but what are the weights? It's kind of like a weight on a fishing pole. Like they just go down. Like they go in the water. You just.
He free dives. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't need fucking lead weights on his waist.
No.
Right.
I can't float on my back that
He
good.
just unzips and the balls come out and he starts projecting downward.
If you got a good
Starts
wind,
sinking.
though, I can
Every
propel
boat-
them above my body and get sailing.
Just stand on a skateboard.
Every boat that he goes on has to have 2 less passengers because he's already exceeded the weight limit for 2 people.
Every boat I
and
go
an
on
extra
has to.
dinghy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you have to buy an extra seat on an airplane for your nuts?
sometimes.
Does Delta make you put your balls in the little package that like you have to put your carry-on luggage into to make sure it's the right size?
Sir, you're going to see in the next fucking 10 years what I'm dealing with. And I hope you go back on this and you're like, fuck that poor bastard. I've sat on him more
Well, I'm
times
like-
than I want to now.
I'm like just a couple of years older than you, but I mean, I guess testicle.
Genetically, am I nuts, though? I'm
I guess-
20 years older than you.
Yeah, I guess testicle age is a different thing between us.
Apparently it is.
Apparently, you can be born with old man balls.
It's not like dog years, is what you're saying. It's reverse dog years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about reverse, but maybe his balls are on dog years and the rest of them is on human years.
Fuck a palm reader. What about a ball reader? Like, this is where you're going in life.
I see this pubic hair's life tells you.
Your seminal vesicle is telling me.
You will have great fortune.
You see how this vein creates a question mark. We are unsure of who your lover will be. Call me now.
Yeah.
Oh, Oh boy.
It's gonna be a shame when they have to cremate you, Derek, because they're gonna have to do it in two batches. They're gonna have a whole fucking urn for your balls.
What were those things called
one
back
for
in the
the
day?
left and one for the right.
I hope they make a fucking toy. You know those? What are the clankers? Do you remember fucking clankers when you guys were a kid? We called them clankers.
You
They
have
were
to
the two
elaborate.
balls that were on a fucking long string, and you'd hold them
yeah.
in the middle, and they just
Oh
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I hope they do that with my nuts. They already get hit like that. They're used to it.
It's gonna be his funeral, and
They're gonna be-
Derek's last words were that we preserved his nuts.
They're
And
going to
for
be
this final testament, these are his nuts, and then they're gonna do that right above your casket.
And then drop them.
Yep.
And everybody's going to be wearing a necklace that kind of represents the nuts, too.
they're going to have a sign that says D's nuts.
Yeah, I could see that happening at your funeral.
Everybody gets one ball hair when
right.
they leave.
Ooh.
It's disgusting. I don't want a ball hair.
Like in an envelope with some cellophane on it.
In one of those old school scrapbooks where you peel the plastic back and put the photo on.
It's gonna have
and
that
Fancy.
flip it over.
Yeah, it's gonna have that fucking cottage cheese smell on it too. I bet.
It's gonna definitely.
Oh, no,
smell
it's
like
clean.
from under.
Oh yeah, that's right. You fucking shower twice a day.
Dude, I shower twice a day. I can't, yeah.
Well, I mean, imagine how difficult it is just to hold his balls out of the toilet while I do.
Imagine
This is
how
true.
difficult
This
it
is
is
true.
to make
You
it so they
probably
don't go down the drain when I'm showering.
I get it now. If you shit twice a day, no wonder you shower twice a day because you probably shit all over your balls every single time. You got to wipe your balls too on top of your asshole, don't you?
I mean, kind of. When most guys are like, "Oh, you ever sit
disgusting.
down and have your thing hit the water?" Yeah, my balls do, but not my
It's
thing.
disgusting. I'm sorry. That's an ailment. You should probably go see a doctor. There's plastic surgery that can take care of that.
I mean, I think I can be way more successful on OnlyFans with a thing like that.
I mean, instead of a breast reduction, you can do a ball reduction.
That's like slapping God in the face.
oh, okay.
Would you donate the trimmed portion of your nutsack to a burn victim?
For someone's eyelids. I think it would work.
There'd be some really wrinkly eyelids, but
Some earlobes.
That section of your forearm is really soft.
They give it they give it a 70-year-old man like a fucking
how is it
a
that collects
forehead-
lint so well?
It's a-
It's like the perfect lint collector.
forehead graph, and it's just my ball skin on a 70-year-old man, just all wrinkly.
They put your ball skin on a burn victim's arm. He gets hit in the arm and
Wow,
immediately has a stomach ache.
It's the most weird unibrow I've ever seen on someone's forehead.
boy.
It's it's like it looks like is that pubic hair on your fucking forehead?
It's
What is
natural.
that?
It's natural.
Oh, it's natural.
It's natural.
Oh, yeah.
All natural.
It's genetic. That's it. That's all it is.
Genetic.
It's genetic.
He was born this way.
Kind of.
I think they made songs about that.
I don't know.
So, Greg, how was your week, too?
Yeah, we I mean, we've been ranting and raving over here, just bantering about ball sacks and Diddy and
Which my ball sack and Diddy had nothing in common. Like, no. I wasn't involved
Diddy
with.
saw your ball sack and he said he couldn't even fuck around with that.
No. I mean,
Diddy was like, I'm out.
just because it covered his eyes.
I mean, he would have had to order 2,000 bottles of lube.
And 500 were just for the nuts.
That would have been almost, what did he say, a 55-gallon?
Guys, that's what all the baby oil was for. We
Would have been-
didn't even go to baby oil fucking calculations. That was just lube. The nuts are for baby oil.
I just assumed that he had a team of Oompa Loompas that just applied the baby oil to him.
Did they sing a
at any
song?
time. I
They
mean,
probably
I'm
did.
assuming.
I guarantee it.
Oompa Loompa did. No, I don't know.
It probably was.
Yeah.
Your
I'm
little
gonna spackle
peepee
some
is...
lube on you. Oompa doompa doompa dee dee.
If you're lucky, you will miss Diddy.
Now here is this nice little dildo.
Oh, boy.
It is coming for you.
Yeah, somebody was.
Yeah, apparently there's a lot of that going on around there. Hey.
Yeah.
Even Cat Williams, they actually resurfaced an old Cat Williams stand-up routine, and he talked about when he got famous. He's like, and he walked around, and then you're at this party, and all of a sudden you find the one room, and there's just people fucking. And this is back in like 04. and talking
geez.
about this. He didn't say any names, anything like that, but he talked about like that situation in a stand-up routine. And now it just makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
Especially after the whole
I bet he had a Strobin butt plug.
Huh?
In the white party, do you think he was wearing white pants and he had like one of those strobe butt plugs that was
Cat
going
Williams?
off the whole time? No, Diddy.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I doubt it for Cat Williams, but I could see it for Diddy.
It's possible now.
I mean, whatever. I don't care.
I mean,
just guessing.
was he really playing a character on Get Him to the Greek?
Can someone please fucking make a lube after Diddy now?
Oh, you know someone is. Someone.
If you haven't,
someone's waiting.
you have failed.
Someone's waiting for the court case to go through all that kind of stuff, and it's going to happen.
You know what? Here's your chance, listeners. Actually, if you can come up with the name for that lube that will both throw the shade at the situation and not get you sued, feel free to submit them. boardroombanter@gmail.com. Also, just throw it in the comments section.
Also, we're not big enough to get you sued yet, so you can put whatever you want in our comments section.
Yeah, like
we're
your
pretty little.
Your comments are not my responsibility, but I'm just telling you, you may be missing $1 million opportunity here. If
I'm
you
not inciting
capitalize
violence.
early.
I'm just telling you what to do. Okay, the rest is on you.
That was a message from our chairman of the board.
Chairman.
I'm a chairman? Really?
You are the chairman.
That's fucking awesome.
You're the chairman of the board.
But your week, I think you did have something to share with us, Greg.
That means that you have to answer for us too.
Oh,
Sucker.
that sucks. It's not me, I promise.
So we went back home
did
and
not.
visited some family and friends.
Yeah, you
And
went
that
out
was
of
pretty fun.
You went out of town.
You did.
Lucky you.
You left us.
I know.
Just a little ways.
I had a little
Just for
separation.
couple
I
days.
had some separation anxiety.
He looked lonely in the office.
I did.
Well, I told Stephanie to put one of those little pills and to wrap it in a piece of hot dog or a piece of cheese so you'd eat it.
Oh,
Obviously,
is that
yeah.
why I was so zonked? What? Okay.
Yeah. I
I'm
figured
gonna have some words.
by the time I got back, they had you neutered. The chip was in place. They did your nails.
So Greg is kind of like Diddy. He fucking...
Yeah, he fucked me.
More
maybe.
like Cosby.
He's definitely sent you some stuff, but I mean, I think it was he roofied you.
Yeah, but I wasn't even here to take advantage of them. I was 5 hours away. I have alibis.
Some bitch.
I have receipts.
Some bitch.
He did too.
I got
So,
diddled.
I was back home visiting family and friends. I haven't been over there in like about a year and a half, so it was really good to see everybody. The biggest intention on going back this weekend was my youngest sister-in-law's, Baka's 30th birthday.
Happy 30th.
Wow.
Happy Dirty 30 Baka.
It's downhill from here.
My wife's youngest sister, second to youngest sibling.
I don't care what anyone says. 30, it's downhill after that.
Stop counting after 30.
I mean,
Screwed.
she doesn't look, she takes really good care of herself. And yeah, I think she'll be like,
Yeah?
Yeah, she's going a better path than I was at an earlier age. So,
My girl I kind of dated in like high school time, she just came out as a les.
yeah.
She was married.
I mean, I can't blame her.
I know. Well, I mean, I kind of feel. I
She
kind of.
looked back at her time with David and was like, "Yeah,
I kind of feel bad for the husband that she was currently married to, because all of a sudden she's like,
yeah.
"How would you like to be that guy? The guy that like you've been married to somebody for a few years, whatnot, and then all of a sudden they just come out and they're like, yeah, I like chicks instead."
Well, there's a couple
Right?
of listen.
I'm just gonna quote a fucking
I
movie.
wish-
you
I wish-
suck dick at fucking pussy at that point."
No, listen.
I wish we had cameras to catch Derek's reaction mentioning that, because that was good there, my friend. One day we will. The reason we're not on video yet is we're trying to find a proper AI software, because I am horribly disfigured. And until we can find a good AI software to put an overlay over my horribly disfigured face to make me look normal, it's the only reason we're not on video yet.
Well, and we don't want to have to like put away the sex dungeon stuff because it takes forever to get it all just back in place.
Well, I know.
He remembered to throw the llama back out in the pasture this
Thank
time.
God. I don't even know how he got in the fucking dungeon anyways. Like,
Well, you know, he's a horny little bastard.
He
He
is,
just finds
but
his way
still.
in here.
I mean, that was pretty fucked up that he got in here last time. I was trying to keep it private for us, but apparently he had other ideas. He was looking at Greg like, "Oh, you look like a pincushion, my man."
So back to that comment, I just gotta say that you can play that a couple of different ways. In my opinion, the smarter man turns it into an opportunity.
Okay.
If an opportunity is there. If it's not, then hey, you know, at
Turns
least
what into an opportunity?
finding out that your significant other would rather have women too.
Yeah. You know, I guess in my head, that just means you got to be a real beta male the entire relationship to where it gets to the point where your woman just looks at you and says, I like chicks. I'm done with this. I want chicks instead.
You got to be a real douchebag.
That's my head. Just, you know, that's my 2 cents.
I don't know, man.
I think it's
People
an opportunity lost.
People change.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe she was comfortable enough with this person
I don't know.
to finally say
part of the coming out on social media was my therapist.
Huh.
So there's that.
what?
So the person came out on social media.
Yes.
so
Via
okay.
after countless sessions with my therapist.
That's like your
and
fucking
whatnots.
worst nightmare.
Right?
That's like everybody knows you either have a small wiener or like you just suck it.
Suck at life.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, not suck at life because relationships happen. I've had a few relationships happen like that, but not like that. Not like that at all. But I mean, it's just fuck, man. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine like you come from a hard day at work and you're fucking coming home and you're just trying to relax and you're like, oh, like I don't fucking like you anymore.
Yep.
yeah, I think that sucks. For
And not only do I
anybody in that
not like you
situation.
anymore, I don't even like your kind anymore. I'm gonna go.
Your wiener disgusts me.
I'm gonna go to fucking Team B over here.
I mean, it
You're
totally
done.
could be that situation.
I bet his balls started looking like mine.
No, they went real inside of him. They were already real inside of him.
Yeah, lack of dissension.
That's why. That's what it was. It just wasn't doing it anymore. And then,
Maybe they
oh,
had.
that's what it is. The balls just need to be completely gone. It's not
So
just
maybe
these
if
little
he-
things sitting here in
If
front of
he
me.
changed, maybe that could.
Yeah.
maybe he had low T.
Or zero.
No T.
Or zero T.
I know someone else that has 0 T
Yeah,
now.
me too.
Well, you know, in either case, you know, respect for.
It's a very weak sack, I heard.
Oh,
very-
WS?
That's what I heard.
WS,
I
weak
don't
sack.
know. I don't know. These are all rumors and speculation that we're hearing.
Yeah, you know, it's. I bet that would just be like a soul crushing situation. It's
wouldn't
already
wanna
hard
be-
enough. It's already
Personally,
hard enough.
I wouldn't want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, it's already hard enough. It's hard enough to
It kind of sounds like
to
an
be with
easy way out.
anyone in the present.
Yeah.
Thank
What if
God.
you're just like, what if she really isn't that way and she's just like, you fucking suck and this is what I'm going to use to get out of it?
Well, there is that too. That could be a thing.
I mean-
I'm just saying, if my wife decided to end up and just leave me, I'd be celibate the rest of my life because I ain't trying to date in the present.
Oh no,
God, no.
absolutely not.
Hell no.
Look, real talk. I'm so grateful that my wife and I are still together after 17 years,
Right?
total of being together. Because let me tell you what, man, dating is way
I ain't touching it.
now.
I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
I just can't fathom what you'd have to do just to be socially acceptable.
I will be.
It's not only that, it's
I will
Two.
be Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino.
so you've been in a relationship for how long?
10 now.
Almost 17.
So you know what the real fucking problem is? If you guys were to ever get out of a relationship with I face this too, you have no fucking game after that long.
Well, it's not even just the game.
No, it's the game too, bro. You get out and you're like,
Yeah.
bro, you've been on the sidelines for a long time.
I
You get
will-
out and you're like,
I will.
what the fuck do I do?
I will concede that, but I live on the internet enough to know what the scene is like in the present.
No, you don't.
And,
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you can't
yes.
you can't really credit social media with what it may or may not be like, and
You
it's
can't.
really irrelevant to your individual.
you gotta find
area,
you gotta find that trad wife.
Yeah.
Man. Those are the hard ones to find because everyone's all about You need to be 6'2". You need to make 6 figures, and I won't talk to you if you're underneath 6 foot. And if you're making under $100,000, I won't talk to you. Da, da, da.
See ya,
All
bitch.
the while that they're exactly.
I wouldn't have stuck around for the full sentence.
See.
I wonder if your friend turned to polyamory, if that would have made a big difference.
Ooh.
No, polyamory, in my opinion, is just kind of like a revised polygamy.
No, I mean,
It's like swinger status,
but they
you still
each
get
have
bored of it.
multiple partners. It's not just the man having
Right,
multiple partners.
right. So
it's not polygamy.
revised polygamy.
He could have been a cuck for all we know.
It's revised polygamy.
Could have been sitting in the corner of that bedroom.
The idea behind it is in the polygamy, and if you know more than I do on this, feel free to pop in the comments. Okay, but from my understanding is it's a big family and they love each other. The women don't get together, but the man gets together with each one of the women. And
Women get together. They did that on Sister Wives on TV or something.
no, I meant like in the bedroom.
So what you're saying
They
is
didn't do that.
Yeah.
on that.
No.
No.
So what
The-
you're saying is we should just all become Islamic.
I don't know anything about Islam.
I mean,
Not a lot, actually.
you get the man and his harems.
I mean,
It's perfection.
I don't know.
I'd rather be Mormon. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Just
So
threw
you
it-
get all the power if you're the man in a Mormon house. But aside of that, I'm just saying, like, the whole polyamory thing, yeah, I believe you can love more than one person, but I think it's just kind of an excuse.
I think it's
It is.
an excuse to fuck.
Well, yeah. There is that.
I mean, there's not really. I mean,
everything is an excuse to fuck.
there's not a lot of monogamy in this
Everything-
world anymore, man.
I mean, from how the poopo loopo, everything is an excuse to
but
fuck.
a monogamous household is like really hard to find these days too.
Huh?
Well, and I'm not shaming anybody out there. Who
Not
does
shaming
these
you at
things.
all.
I am totally shaming you.
He is the chairman.
My shaming would be for just not
Shame.
calling it what it is. Just call it what it is. You don't want to be exclusive. Great.
Fucked up.
It doesn't need to be some fancy special. Well, it's like this, but with this color flag, on the flag or whatever. Like
That's
there's
justification.
So much, yeah, and you don't need to justify it to anybody. If you truly you are who you are, and that should be good enough. Fine, that's good enough for me. But you don't need to convince me so fucking hard.
But they are going to convince you so fucking hard.
We live
because
in the state where
you
they try
have
to convince you
accept
the
it.
hardest.
And if you don't accept it, you're a bigot.
Well, whatever. I guess I'm a bigot.
The panda's winking at you though.
Exactly. I fucking
No,
love
it's
that
not
panda.
that I don't accept it. I just don't I think people miss the point that, in my humble opinion, from my experience in life, and you guys have heard me say this before, I believe most people are reasonable, like normal everyday people, but you only ever hear from the small percentage on either side that are completely fanatical.
That's the internet's fault.
Yeah, exactly. And this goes into the whole construct of how social media changed the landscape of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, good and bad. There's both good and things bad, but it's all controlled by society, who is obviously off its effing rocker.
Oh, it's
You know.
amazing to watch. Like
It's
sitting in the bleachers. I'm in the nosebleeds right now, just watching.
Yeah.
And,
It's like, what the fuck is going on down there?
Exactly.
Did you see where that guy put that cat?
Boo you!
Yeah, boo this man. Boo.
But unfortunately, I'm in the nosebleeds. So,
Yeah.
and that's where I'm going to stay because I ain't trying
Yeah.
to get down there. No, thank you.
There was another thing.
I'll get down there when it's last case, like when it's the last scenario to play out. But that's Second Amendment shit.
Oh, yeah.
There's another thing that grinds my gears in a way.
Yeah.
So, like today, I go and get pizza. We get pizza for our thing sometimes that we eat before we have the thing.
Yeah, you
And,
think I eat it, but really I'm doing other things. That's why I would get it
I
two
almost did it.
slices at a time.
I almost did it.
No.
Fucking llama stays in
Yeah,
this
that-
goddamn-
Almost did it.
That door is locked.
But bro, I'm just so like I'm getting pumped. I'm like, yeah, podcast night. We're gonna fucking yeah. And then like when I get to the counter, the guy's just such a fucking dickweed.
Me?
No,
How
not
dare
you. Like I'm like
A different,
Oh,
a different dickweed.
So-
Oh, okay.
I go to Costco's.
Say, how
buy
dare
us,
you say that about
Costco
me?
pizza. That's what we get.
I mean, at least you're saying it in my face.
I'm gonna
but
shame.
Still.
I'm gonna shame Costco by us.
Ooh.
And It's like the guy that
They're gonna
like
jack up your membership fee.
fuck you. You already did.
They
Keep
did.
your fucking $1.50 hot dogs. Go fuck yourself. I'd rather pay $2 for a hot dog than have my membership go up.
That is true.
Go
actually.
fuck yourself.
Yeah, you know.
I don't want those hot dog burps later anyway.
And how many people actually use the free soda?
Yeah. So
I mean,
I'm sitting
yeah,
there
they're
and
gonna
like
The free
free
soda.
refills.
so I go up to the counter, right? To go get the pizza. And it's not like, "Oh, how may I help you?" or "Oh, what are you here for?" It's, "What do you want?"
I want you.
I was about ready to say like, "Motherfucker, like do you have no customer service skills?"
I would have been
I
like
told
$1
you.
million.
It doesn't-
But he was like, "What do you want?" And then he started doing all these back stretches like he was tired and started making all these grunts. And I was like, I called an order for 2 pizzas. And like the whole time he was just like in the shittiest mood, like just hating life. I understand that you might have had a bad day. Shit might have happened. Stuff might be going on, but it's like, man, if you really hate your job that much, like if you really fucking hate it that much, like why the fuck are you doing it?
I told you. This generation of people have no social skills. It doesn't exist. We talked about that before the podcast, that this generation below us.
Even people in
Zero.
our generation sometimes.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah, some of
And
us are
older than
brain-
us.
there's a
And-
split in between, like for us and our generation, there's a split. There's the ones
We actually
that,
had to talk to people as kids.
there's
Some
the
of
ones
us.
that went with like Gen X and Boomer kind of side of things, and then there's the others that went with this millennial Zoomer shit, and it's weird. Not gonna lie.
I mean, a lot of it is like a lot of kids these days grow up on the internet too, and I'm not gonna, like that's what they do. A lot of parents let people do that, but it's like another thing. You hear a lot of these chat rooms where kids are gaming. And it's like fuck you, like
Oh.
it's just it's nonstop,
Yeah.
just blasting, and it's like how do you expect a kid to have communication
Oh,
skills
no.
in the world with
No,
that's what
no.
they're growing up in?
If my kid was yelling that from across the room into a headset playing on his console, there would be hell to pay, and he knows it.
Wait till your kid's 13, bro.
They're
They're still
just
held
won't
to
have
pay.
a gaming
I mean-
console. Yeah, like,
I
It's
mean,
just plain and
we don't
simple.
play
It
that.
just
Yeah.
goes away. It disappears.
there's
You got
accountability.
to earn it. You
Yeah.
got to earn that. Like same thing. My kid, you got to earn it already. She's 3.5. She knows already that. Oh, if I fuck up today, okay, I don't earn
It is, but at the same day, too, like, I'm the type of kid, like, you can't take everything away from a kid and expect them to do better either. Like, there's a point of
yeah.
resentment and a point of
There
angst
is.
and a point of they're going to fucking do worse shit if you take that
There
stuff
is.
away.
There's a
But
balance.
I'm just saying that the day and age that they're growing up in and the communication skills that they learn from the communication they're having from online gameplay and social media and school and different shit. It's just it's not communication, man. It's just it's talking back. It's talking shit. It's I'm right,
Right.
all the time.
Yep.
Well,
You know?
and I think to the root of this, and people our age, and maybe a little bit older, maybe by like 2 to 5 years, and definitely younger, are directly to blame for this. And it's not like, oh, I'm over here Captain Hindsight right now. I get that, but it really is the movement of like, okay, it's okay to have feelings and participation trophies, and like I don't disagree with
Participation trophies are not okay.
They're
well,
not.
I don't disagree with
That's the start of it all.
I don't disagree with positive reinforcement, but if there is no
What's-
accountability,
What's positive reinforcement? I never had that in my life.
well, we're right there at that edge of that
What is it?
generation between, Gen
I only
X
had, what
and
the
millennial.
fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing? Slap, slap. Ah! Yeah, get in the fucking corner. Okay.
Right, and a little bit of positive reinforcement would have been better, right?
I don't know. I never had that.
Well,
Oh,
I had a little bit, like
I don't know what that is.
We're kind of in any case, but yeah, I get you.
Okay. There's the thing that's positive.
I was a product of the state.
Now I feel like Michael Jackson. I never actually had a childhood.
Oh
Damn.
no, you
I beg to
totally had
differ.
a childhood.
I'm gonna start.
David's mom, if he had a childhood, will you comment on this video?
I'm gonna start bleaching my skin.
Well, I mean,
You're already pretty white.
Yeah, if you get any whiter, we'll be able to see through you.
I don't
David.
think you could wear shorts in the general public as
You
it is,
are
David.
a mighty Caucasian person. So white you could be from the mountains.
People
of
don't know.
the Caucasus.
People could have just been like, "Wow, that's the whitest sounding black guy I've ever heard."
He's the most Italian guy you'll see.
Hey,
Same, hey,
shut up!
fucking forget about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. It just went too extreme in our generations. It wouldn't have hurt for parents to have been like a little, just a rash softer than perhaps our generation's parents were. But,
I mean, Microsoft and PlayStation, you could have held off a few more years before you release the next fucking console.
It's not any of those guys' fault. It's 100% the accountability of the parents is kind of where, and everybody's kids start making their own choices at a certain age.
I mean, I don't want to take anything away from our parents too, but I believe that the way that they were raised with such a hardcore reinforcement, a lot of our parents, by the time we were getting raised, it was like, fuck you, get out of here, go play outside, come home when the lights go out, here's your fucking dinner and go to bed. Like, I mean, as far as a lot of people I've talked to, a lot of people's childhoods, a lot of people that are the same age as us, like, I think that's very common, is there was just a lot of the people, like our parents' generations, really didn't give a fuck, man. Like, they were just like, we're doing our own thing. We're working fucking hard. We're trying to support a family. Like, fuck off, kids.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, this could branch out 100 different directions, but it all comes back to one main point, and there was a shift in the home. There was a shift in parenting styles. And not all of it was bad, because obviously there was a lot of acceptance of alternative lifestyle, and that's a good thing in my opinion. But it should be like, freedom means everybody gets treated the same and all the expectations are the same. That's a different topic altogether. But the point of the matter is there was a shift on the focus in parenting between our generation's parents and us. And by the way, it was
the generation before fucking had the Great Depression, so there's that.
That's what I'm saying. Gen X was raised by the kids of the Depression generation, right? So things started to get a little softer over time, but Gen X, early Gen X, raised late millennial, early Gen Z.
But almost look at our generation too, because I'm victim of this too. Like, we work a lot. We work a lot of hours. We're trying to support for our families. I mean, sometimes when the kid wants to play a little extra video games, I'm like, oh yeah, he's in his room, he's playing. Like, he doesn't need this social shit. He doesn't, and I'm victim of that too, because at the same time, we should be reinforcing more shit. We should be, like...
Well, or just interacting with your child about this stimuli too.
Yeah. That's why I keep it to a minimum with mine.
Yeah. I mean,
she's going to learn the right way.
I hate to be the uncool dad, and you guys know why I have to parent the way I do, but, it really all boils down for everybody that the lack of social graces because of your ability to hide behind a persona on the internet is really fucking the world up.
Well, there is that. It's all avatar.
Why do you think I haven't had Facebook or any social media for like a year, man?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to hear about my life, you want to see my life, fucking ask me.
Yeah. Text me. Call me.
And yet here you are.
Come see me in
on
person.
A podcast with us.
I know.
Yeah. It's quite the irony.
It is.
And it just goes to show that you have to have the happy medium. There has to be balance.
Sleuthing will happen at some point in our lives. And they're going to find
it will.
And they're going to be like, oh my God, we need to cancel them.
Oh, I've been on social media. Like, I was hardcore on it for a lot of years of my life and really believed in it. The last year or so, like, I've disconnected from it, and just for my own, mental health, mental shit going on, and it's been good for me.
I'm on it just because I like to see the fucking chaos that happens, and all I have is a Facebook.
Yeah.
I've never used Twitter. I've never used Instagram. I've never used...
Socials are coming to you soon, though. Boardroom Banter is going to be creating some socials, and you guys better fucking like them.
Boardroom Banter socials. Follow it. Give it likes. Hang out with us. We will have merch sometime down the line.
React with more than an emoji.
Yeah.
Emoticon, whatever it's called.
What?
I don't know.
What
Do you remember what they used to be called?
What?
They were called emoticons?
No, it was.
What are you talking about right now, sir?
Is that like some different form of transformer?
Did you just have a seizure?
Is that like is that the third form of
What was
Decepticon?
I've always heard it as an emoji.
Well, I think emoji is short for something.
Are you turning in like to some it's weird transformer right now?
I think you had a trans-ischemic attack.
How about
Do you have an episode?
Let's find out on the interwebs.
Oh, you're doing the interwebs on your phone? Okay. Well, you do that. See, we're not even in the same room together. We just say we are, but we're not. I don't know what the fuck Greg's doing over there.
Okay.
I know he's been jerking it this whole time.
No, so I figured out what I was looking for.
Oh.
Emoticon, which comes from a combination of the word emotion and icon.
That sounds stupid.
While emoji comes from a Japanese term meaning pictograph.
That actually makes sense. Oh, it's an emoji.
Emoji?
Whoever called it a fucking emoticon?
That was pre-emoji.
No, I want to hear in the comments.
Yeah,
Whoever knows of
If
this.
you remember emoticons, and this is going to be back in like the IRC, a little bit post IRC. We're looking at like, gosh, what were those other little web?
David doesn't even know, by the
that
way.
were like
he's
AOL
looking.
online, but not AOL. There was another one that was really popular.
MSN Messenger?
No, it was pre-Skype.
Pre-Skype. Oh, boy.
It was pre-Skype, and it was AOL online days.
Okay.
And it was a very similar platform, but it wasn't a whole web page. They had their like little tile on the side.
Well, there was MSN. At that time, it was,
it was like that.
it was AOL Messenger, MSN. There was Yahoo Messenger. I remember I used to have all three of those open.
I'm thinking of a different one, but it was like that. And it
What
was in
about
that
Gmail?
time
How many of you motherfuckers made a Gmail account in 8th grade?
I
7th,
was
8th grade?
No.
I was an adult.
I remember my email address back in the day was in high school. It was unproskater420@yahoo.com.
Mine was Skaterboy801.
And way back
Hotmail.
when. I mean, that's an old email. I don't even. But I remember my English teacher because we had to give our email addresses in class one time, and I gave that. My English teacher looked at me and he was like, "Really, David? Really?" And I was like, "What?"
I never had to give an email address to any teachers.
I forget what it was. It was for some kind of school project at
Yeah.
the time. It's amazing to think that was 20 plus years ago. I mean,
know. Yeah. So
it's weird to say that out loud
Yeah.
now, at least. I
Yeah.
don't know. I guess death is the only thing coming next. So there's that.
So that's
It's pretty bleak.
24, 25 years ago for
Yeah.
me, right around.
That's what I mean. Like it's
Yeah.
up there. So
Oh,
that's
boy.
literally the only thing that's waiting for us next now. Because
I remember playing Oregon Trail on the big
Oh.
floppy discs.
the 3.5 inch, not even the 3.5. That was the 5.5ers.
And
back
that was on, what was it, Apple II, I think. And yeah, it was like all DOS.
Yeah.
It was like all DOS
Yep.
style. I don't know if it was called DOS on an Apple ever. I
Back
don't
then,
remember.
probably. I don't think they.
It was all C prompt stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how you had to log in. //
Oh boy.
run.
Could you imagine putting one of those in front of somebody today who wasn't around, younger and at no fault of their own?
Dude, there's kids that don't even know what a rotary phone is anymore. Wow, that was about 5 seconds.
I mean, to be fair, it was like 7.5.
To be fair. I don't know. That was pretty short.
Did
my
you
man.
count Mississippi's?
I didn't actually. It was not Mississippi's.
So I got a better one. Whoever has the most ridiculous fucking Hotmail account that's still going, like what is your fucking handle on Hotmail? What is your account name? Like
What's the one you
Oldest
don't?
standing.
What's the one you don't use for work?
So what's the one you use for those other websites you look at?
if
Yeah.
we've got real fans, like
Yeah.
if you've listened this long,
Yeah.
put it in the comments. That's how we
Let's
know
see
you're
what's up.
real fans.
Let's see what's going on.
If you have a fucking email account still out there that you don't want anybody to use, but we find it worthy enough, we'll give you a shout out on the next podcast.
If our listeners haven't realized yet with the name Boardroom Banter, we want you to banter with us.
Yes, we want this like interaction.
Just bring it on. Just
Bring it on.
Banter with the boys.
Bring on the
Do you dare?
proverbial
Even
poop
if you're a
talk.
girl, banter with the boys.
Banter with the boys.
Amen.
We're just trying to find that
Yeah.
that person that has
The ability to challenge us a little bit, maybe.
mindsets that align with ours, because we already know we're going to weed out certain people. They're going to be like, what the fuck is this? Then there's going to be others. They're going to be like, this is, oh my God, I've been missing this my whole life. These are people on the internet that agree with things that I think. I am going to listen to them from now on.
People on the internet agree about anything.
Nah, it's a rare thing, but it happens.
And fans, if you wanted to see us bring someone on the episode,
Ooh, we would like to have guests at some point.
we would like to have guests. I mean, if you would like to see this, like, let us know. Like,
I mean, first and foremost, we got to get beyond our sponsorship of Boardroom Banter Ale. Find it nowhere. That's our only sponsor at the moment.
there's one person that knows what Boardroom Banter is, but he will never release that.
That's right. He will never release
Never.
that. He understands.
I thought we eliminated them already.
Good luck.
Sworn to yeah, good luck.
Oh,
You do it.
Sworn to secrecy. I think he could be the first guest here.
that would be a pretty interesting guest to have. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would be down for that.
we could learn a lot.
But getting back to business,
Ooh,
Ooh.
what kind of business are you talking?
Boardroom Banter Ale is the official beverage of Boardroom Banter. Everybody on the board can sample a Boardroom Banter Never. You won't find it in stores anywhere near you or in draft.
And if you
anywhere
do,
near
it'll probably actually kill you on the first sip.
As a matter of fact, it is so amazing. It's like looking into the eyes of God and not being able to discern what actually you're seeing.
Which is why it would kill you. Like the movie Dogma, when God
Right.
opens their mouth and
Yeah.
it just explodes heads. That's
And-
what Boardroom Banter Ale is.
By the way, Alanis
Only the divine can drink it.
Alanis Morissette, perfect person to play God in that movie.
Very perfect person.
Even if you know what Boardroom Banter L is, you don't know what it is.
No, dude, I don't even really know what it is.
No, I still drink it, and
Yeah.
every day I still think to myself, "What is this?"
Do you guys pee purple in the morning too?
No, green for me.
What?
We only want it released in 17 and 19 packs, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
You got to have that one extra. See, this is the
maybe an
whole thing.
11, just to really fuck with somebody, or a 5-pack too.
A 7-pack.
Well,
A 7-pack.
No, they don't get extra; they get less.
No, it's for
it's
the
a 5-pack.
5-pack.
It's a
I want
5-pack.
extra. Here's why. Boardroom Banter Ale has your back. When you have a thirst like the Sahara Desert in the middle of August,
Oh wow!
Boardroom Banter Ale will provide you
I think that's the winter
the
time.
quenching you need. I don't know. Yeah, I imagine it's pretty harsh. Have you ever spent a winter in a desert?
No, I've spent a summer in a desert, and it
It's pretty
sucks.
Cold as fuck.
No,
Yeah.
it sucks when it's 9:00 in the morning. It's already 110 degrees.
Well, I'm
outside.
high desert. I'm from the high desert, so it's
Yeah.
like 30 degrees in the morning,
Difference
or
there.
7.
Yeah,
When it's
well, it
winter
gets
time.
pretty cold. In either case, you know you can trust Boardroom Banter to be there when you need it. Boardroom Banter Ale.
Find it nowhere.
It will nourish you.
Cheap fun.
Very, very cheap fun.
I mean, it's basically a meal in a can.
Well, when you don't have an MRE on hand, if you have a Boardroom Banter, it will suffice just as good as an MRE.
I feel like there's people out there that don't even eat and they just survive off beer.
Mostly.
It has 13 essential amino acids.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's
like,
the building blocks everybody needs.
There's carbohydrates.
how? So if there's anybody out there, like, put it in the comments. How long have you fucking lived just going on beer? Nothing else.
With no meals. Nothing.
What is the fucking statistics?
Oh, somebody's out there.
I don't know. Beer gives me the munchies sometimes.
I mean, yeah, but what if you just crack open another beer and start drinking it?
I mean, true. It's kind of a slippery slope, though.
It is.
It's kind of like pot brownies.
But you get to the point where you start you start
boy.
drinking another one that there's no going back. You can't eat nothing at that point. If you're
See?
getting full.
He just cracked one, and I instantly got 2 degrees colder.
Just like I want
And I
another
have-
one.
And I was just next to it.
Yeah.
Derek's balls actually got smaller.
No. I do a
he
polar.
Derek got so excited his balls actually got about 1/10 of an inch smaller.
I do a polar plunge and they think there's fucking icebergs sitting there.
See, I wouldn't want you to do a polar plunge because I'm afraid if they tried to suck into your body, it would then destroy you.
That is true. You would probably it would.
Yeah, it would shred you apart.
I'm just telling you, so when I get cold, guys, like, just remember how cold I am, because your guy's little succulent ball sack sucks all up to your body and makes you all warm, and you're all like, ooh.
No, my body makes them warm.
Oh, man. Mine don't suck up there.
No, you have to cling to your massive balls for warmth.
Oh, man.
Oh, speaking of,
I can't wear regular boxers.
So, Greg, being that I know you had a baby in your house, you adopted, basically. So, Derek, I know you couldn't attest to this one. So, the other day, my kid comes running up to me, hands out, grabs. The first time it's happened to me, she fucking hit my ball sack. Oh, my God. That was the worst thing in the world because she went to grab my leg.
That happens every day on a Tuesday
and as she
for
went
me,
to
sir.
grab my leg, her little fingertips ended up getting like the edge of my ball sack and then grabbed at the same time on my leg. That was the worst feeling I've. Hey, I'll say this though: 3.5 years. That's the first time it's happened. I feel like I'm on a good string of luck right there as a dad.
So you see what I deal with on a regular
and then my
basis?
wife looks at me as I'm walking away hobbling, like, she's like, "What happened?" I said, "She fucking grabbed my ball sack." I was like, this is so bad. I feel like I'm going to throw up right now.
David,
What?
look me in the eye.
I'm looking. Which eye? There's like 4.
Do you feel my pain?
I don't feel your pain.
Oh, man.
Well, let me tell you this. Okay. I'm just going to forewarn you about the road ahead.
Wait, hold on. Let me close an eye. Okay, that one there. All right, I see it there. Okay. I focused. I found Derek's eye that he told me to look into.
The pain? Oh, my God.
It resonates in all of us.
It does.
Yeah. So
Dads everywhere will attest and know the struggle of having a small child.
I feel like you guys got more of like a shock absorber though. When your balls don't hang as low, like when you get hit in them, it's like not as like it's just a little, like there's more fucking range of motion when your balls hang that low. When you get hit, I think it hurts way more
But
when you.
if you're using it as a hippity hoppity, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I don't use it as a hippity hoppity.
I'm just saying, look,
There's-
just because yours swings farther doesn't mean it's less painful
Yeah,
for us.
yeah,
I
Pain's
beg to
pain,
differ.
Imagine
bro.
if they were smacking that hard faster.
yeah. Pain's pain.
No,
I mean, you should have more experience of the pain just because you're like, oh, they're a danger to society.
Just 'cause
and
I
they
don't-
always
but-
get in the way and they hit.
maybe I should start
everything.
asking people
I
how like
sit on
big
them
are your
and-
nuts in a circular motion, because maybe mine are just that much bigger. That's why the sack hangs down lower.
Maybe you should go to a doctor.
Yeah.
That could be cancer, dude.
Maybe it's a parasitic twin.
Last time I went to a doctor and got my balls played with, I don't think it was a doctor.
You know, I
I don't think it was that.
I told
Hey,
you not to go to the
I'll
doctors
say
and the
this:
vans anymore.
if Tom Green was sitting in this room with us right now, he'd probably say, "Go to the doctor."
If Tom Green's telling you to go to the
But they're-
doctor, you should probably go to the fucking doctor.
But they're proportionate.
Just saying.
They're proportionate, though.
Tom Green probably had the same sentiment as you. He's like, "These are the most look at these things. These are amazing." And then he goes in for a checkup, and his doctor's like, "You have ball cancer."
But I bet one was way bigger than the other one.
Maybe.
Oh boy,
We don't know.
Lance Armstrong.
Ooh.
So if anybody's out there, if you've had nut cancer, is one ball bigger than the other?
And it's just for science, guys. We're sorry about your.
We
ball
don't need
cancer.
pictures.
Yeah,
Either.
I don't know. That's terrible. Cancer is proof evil exists.
I mean, if you do send it to the
If you've been
Gmail
on
account.
chat
Send
roulette.
it to David's account.
Oh, thank you. Much appreciated.
He's seen enough dick in his day.
That is true. And especially if you've been on chat roulette. You ever been on chat roulette?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's an unfortunate.
There's a
license.
lot of wienering on that website.
As Too Short said on that last comment, I could go on and on and on.
It's an unfortunate license to masturbate in public.
Pretty much. It really is. It really is.
I don't know. I heard a little scuttlebutt a little while back that they had to revise rules of usage and in-term license agreements.
I don't
and all
doubt
that.
it.
And
I do not doubt it at all.
so I haven't spent like a length of time on there, but I tried it out when it first came out, and I was Just like the South Park episode.
There's a lot of skipping.
Dude jacking off.
Yep.
Dude jacking off.
Yep.
That's a dude with his penis out.
Yep.
Dude jacking off.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty awful.
And then you're like, oh, hey, hi, how are you? And then you have a normal conversation with somebody on there. And then you end your conversation, and then it's back to...
dudes whacking it. Pretty terrible.
Okay, so an ending note right here. If you are in our age demographic, what is the worst fucking thing you saw on Rotten.com?
Oh, yeah. That's a great, great
What
thing
was
to know.
the worst fucking video or the thing that you remember on Rotten.com?
That was a beautiful website.
Feel free to pop it in the comments or again, email us boardroombanter@gmail.com.
If you're a true fan,
I
you're
already know
listening
which
till the
one.
end.
In my head, I
Me and
know
you
which
already
one.
know which one. We've
I've
talked
seen,
about
I've
this.
seen a few.
Yeah.
There's been a couple.
Well,
but
there's a couple that disturb me visually, and there's one that kind of disturbs me psychologically more. We can talk about that next week.
Yeah, Rotten.com was a great website.
So come on, fans, if give us something to talk about next time. Rotten.com if you saw it.
Just to go on a side note of that, my favorite website in those days was stickdeath.com.
Oh man,
Fucking
I played
great
the
website.
shit out of all those games.
Stick
on
Death.
Stick
Fuck
Death.
yes.
Stickdeath.
The best Flash website out there.
Stickdeath.com was the most amazing website for anybody to have ever experienced.
Ending note. First fucking computer game anybody played in this room, go Oregon Trail. Happened. Probably both you guys too.
Yeah.
In school was fucking Oregon Trail.
In school, yeah, it was definitely.
So that's the first time you
You were out taking a piss, and we brought up Oregon Trail when you were taking your little fucking 4.5
I'm just saying though, like, so Oregon Trail was probably
there was another
we
one.
all played that for the first time ever.
There was another one. I don't know if it's a toss up between my first. It's either Oregon Trail or another one that was called Gertrude's Secrets.
I don't think
I think that was a video, buddy.
No, that was an actual game. It was called Gertrude's Secrets.
Kind of sounds like Deep Inside Danielle.
If anybody has made it this far into the pod tonight and you remember that game, please enlighten Greg and Derek.
Please
on
back
the
up David on
awesomeness
this.
of Gertrude's Secrets.
I
I
think
really hope some people can actually bring that one out.
I think David found one of his dad's movies in his fucking bedroom and mistake.
Was it reel to reel or was it on floppy disk?
That was on floppy. That was on the old school floppies too, just like Oregon Trail. That's what I mean. Like, it's a toss up for me if that was the first one was Oregon Trail or Gertrude's.
If you watch porn on floppy disks,
Oh boy, I don't think it existed on floppy disk.
You'd have to use like 5 floppy disks because the image size was too much. Like
There wasn't a way to get the image on there.
what if you shrunk the
like
image?
the old 5.5 inch floppies. I think those were what, maybe 512 megs, maybe.
I don't think they even had a way to put video on there yet, though.
No,
It was
I mean that's
all
the thing. Like it was
programming.
program and maybe an image, and that was
But the image was like dot matrix.
Yes, but the
You
size.
give somebody a dick
and the
pic
size
these
is-
days and just send them a floppy disk.
Yeah,
Just
right. Oh
one
my
floppy
God.
disk.
Yeah.
That's all they can
You
upload.
win $1 million if you can
Actually, it was probably maybe
open this floppy disk in the next
guarantee
10
you.
minutes.
Actually, probably back then it was probably 128 megs.
Yeah.
Back then, I don't even think they had 512 by then.
No,
It was probably
that was. I
128.
think that was the smaller hard.
Your
hard
312,
disk.
the 3.5s, I think
Yeah.
got up to the 512. I
Yeah.
think the older 5.5ers, I think those were 128
And-
megs at best.
You were cool if you had a couple of those in your backpack in
Yeah.
school, especially if they were rewritable.
Oh yeah,
Macintosh.
Oh,
You remember
yeah.
when the first Macintosh came out and they had
Yeah.
the Pong game?
yeah.
That was the absolute
You were
shit
the
back
you were the
then.
business.
Yeah.
Let us
Gentlemen?
know, everybody. Everybody, though, that is going to be it for the night. We hope you all have a great weekend. We will see you next time every Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Somewhere
It's like
in
a
the
tongue
middle.
twister.
Somewhere there.
It's like a weird tongue twister.
Making that stuff till you hearing that sound.